regards to Latinas taking the lead. Again, I've been wanting to talk about this because in regards to the releases of films this year, there's a lot going on with Latina actresses in major films, which I think is a wonderful thing. In regards to major films, not independent films and not television. And there's others I'm sure I've missed, but here are some major films that have either just come out or gonna come out in regards to Latinas in the leading roles. Working Man, Ariana Rivas, Noemi Gonzalez. A lot of people really liked Ariana Rivas's character, Jenny Garcia, the one who gets kidnapped. She was great in the film. In Working Man, it is ethnic specific. That is a Latino family. In the film, in the Chuck Dixon book, it's a white family. Working Man is the best example I have seen of an ethnicity swap that works. Great job. Snow White, Rachel Ziegler. It's kind of unclear what ethnicity Snow White is, but it's clear she is not. It's clear that they made in the storyline a very weird connection to her being born during snow, during a snowstorm, and that you could see her mother was a bit tanner than the dad, but it was kind of just not really defined. Didn't work for a lot of people. The Accountant 2, that's coming out. Daniela Pineda, she plays a bad girl. Ash, Isa Gonzalez from Mexico, sci-fi. Some people are saying that was a pretty good film. That is out right now. Count 2 is coming out. Ballerina, that's coming out. Ana de Armas, she plays, I believe, a Russian girl, if I'm not mistaken. She's definitely not playing a Cuban. Ana de Armas can play anything she wants. Superman, Isabella Merced, hot girl. I don't know if they're making that character a Latina specific character. We'll see. In Avatar, Zoe Saldana. She's definitely not playing Latina. Okay, now you have 3 films this year that Jen Ortega has coming out. Death of the Unicorn, which is out right now. It's made about 10 million. It's an okay to decent film. Really didn't capture the audience that they thought it would. I want to make something very clear that this is, and I'm a full advocate for this, right? A lot of this stuff is a great achievement in regards to these ladies, so different from each other in varied roles that are being released by major studios. This is a big breakthrough that one day it's going to be more commonplace. It's becoming commonplace. So I think that's very important. I think that's a wonderful thing because all these actors, from what I have seen, have the talent, have earned that position at least to be nominated, to have auditioned, to be considered for the role. Okay, now I wanna bring up some images because there's some footnotes here, right? There's some footnotes I want to bring up. We recently had the women of Las Tres Sisters come on the show and talk about their film, which is a wonderful example of getting it done your own way. Guys, these guys wrote, produced, got the distribution, got the money to film it. It took them 7 years to get this movie in theaters, and even then it was like 500 theaters. I believe it's already done its theater run. A lot of hard work to do something completely original, and then with really no big names, then to get it done, then to get it in movie theaters to where you could possibly go see it. We gave it a review. Sin's Corner reviewed it for us. She loved it. That's very rare what these ladies just did. That needs to be noted because a lot of people just say, well, just do your own thing. Just, hey, man, why you got to race swap? Do your own thing. Do original stories. That never happens in Hollywood and never happens with studios. They never do that. What do? They do the Snow Whites. And sure, Rachel's talented, but it was a drastic change that people just didn't take. Here, these women took it upon themselves. Applause. I wanted to bring this up before we go down the list here. Ariana Rivas plays Jenny Garcia in the film Working Man. And we talked about this. This movie was not written in the book as a Latino family. It was a white family. Sly Stallone and David Ayer took it upon themselves to change the ethnic identity of the family. And it worked for several reasons. Dixon's book is already solid. The story doesn't pivot around the ethnicity of the family. Also, too, Sly Stallone did the rewrite of the screenplay. He knows characters. He knows dialogue. It works. And then another great reason why it works is that this lady kicked ass in this role. She was wonderful. She was wonderful. Let's keep going. Ziegler. Why is Ziegler's photo so small? I didn't do that on purpose. Now, this is going to be a much talked about, studied catastrophe that Hollywood went through, and Disney in particular, because there were so many reasons why this film went wrong. But let me just say this. Yes, Working Man's success. Tres Sisters Independent success. There is a thing that is allowed with a lot of these movie stars. A lot of these movie stars that we have come to know and love, forget ethnicity, where they were in films that failed. Now, we know about Ziegler's film, but I just want to lay this out because there has to be room for these new stars, these new movies, these new stories, these new directors. There has to be room for them to fail. I know it sounds crazy. But hear me out. In television, they would allot a season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons for a TV show to find its audience and become a success. Up until then, numbers-wise, it was a failure. Doesn't mean that the movie was bad. It just didn't find an audience until season 3 or whatever. X-Files is that example. You have to have these stars, these new artists, new directors have to have that room to fail. And what do you mean by that? Listen, the first any director you like, go look at their early careers. Was their first movie a huge hit? That's all I'm saying. So that being said, Ziegler is going to have a tougher time becoming a success in a Hollywood film moving forward. It probably is going to be a few years at the very least, because I don't see a lot of movie productions that she's in. In fact, I don't think there's any. Okay, let's move on to Daniela Pineda in Accountant 2. This is interesting because Daniela was in the Jurassic world movies. She was in Plane with Gerard Butler. Very good looking, very talented woman. But she had a Ziegler moment with the audiences of Cowboy Bebop, if you remember the Netflix show, and it failed. But from what I'm hearing, she's got a great role in The Accountant too, and she's like a great. It's a great um, villain. So going back to that idea of sometimes these actors will fail. They'll be in a bad movie, be in a bad production. They'll have bad PR takes that people don't like, but they'll come back a year or two later, and boom, they're given another chance. Look at Daniela is going to be an accountant to opposite Ben Affleck. I don't know that whether the roles are ethnic specific, but you're seeing these actors in different movies, different genres of films. Let's go on. Speaking of genre, Ash, the sci-fi movie that's out, opposite Aaron Paul, Isa Gonzalez from Mexico. I hear that's very good as well. Here's another thing too with most of these ladies. Here, let's scroll back. Daniela, American. Rachel, American. Ariana is American. These women, 2 or 3 of them were born in Mexico. These women speak English without an accent because this was their primary language, which is very interesting as well, because Isa is a Spanish speaker from Mexico, but her English is perfect. That is in play, guys. That is in play. That is in play. She came to the States after a successful career in Mexico, and boom, slowly working her way up to the top. Here we go, too. Ana de Armas. Ana de Armas, Cuban Spanish woman. Accent. Right? She's played all kinds of roles where the accent wasn't noticeable, but when she played Marilyn Monroe, people criticized because of the accent. But the accent works in a movie like John Wick, where it's like, ethnic Russians, the ethnics doing their thing, kicking ass. Ana de Armas is a renowned, beautiful woman that's in, Christian Dior, da 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 da. She's got those classic looks. Isabel Merced, Alien Romulus, but coming up, Superman. She plays Hawk Girl. And then on television, The Last of Us, the new season. She's very American. I think her grandparents or that generation came from Latin America. Right. In fact, I think she changed her last name from Isabel Moner, to Isabel Merced in honor of her grandmother. So she's just basically very American, which is fine. Claiming the Latinidad. I get it. Back in the day, it would be the opposite. You'd play down your ethnicity, right? You don't want to be considered, you don't want to be pigeonholed, stereotyped. So you would change your name because people, they would, where are you from? Where are you from? Well, I'm from here. Great. Okay, let's go. Then by doing that, right, you're considered for more roles than not just the Latina Spitfire. But what we're seeing here is a eclectic group of characters. These characters are all different. None of these are stereotypes. I mean, that is another win. Well, whether they're good or not, that's a different story. Whether you know what I'm saying? But again, we scroll back. Hawk Girl, ballerina, an assassin, an astronaut, an assassin, a princess, kind of. A what's it? She's a business, college level lady that belongs to the family. Great role. So the portrayals are better. See, people always talk about representation matters, which I cannot stand because representation at the cost of presentation is garbage. Representation at the cost of presentation is garbage. I am not going to like a Latino role because it's Latino and it is a stereotype and it is a terrible film. I'll spotlight it, but no one gets the barrio pass just for because it's where it's from. So the presentation is even more important. What do I mean by that? How is the character written? What's the story? What's going on? Those those take precedent in storytelling, and the ethnicity should be an add-on. Working Man is a great example. This this college level kid gets kidnapped, maybe about to be trafficked, excuse me, and Statham comes to the rescue. Fantastic. You add in the ethnicity, which means you add in some endearing moments of them trying to feed Jason some Mexican food. It's cute, it's like it's endearing. It's an added element to the story. But if you go the other way around where you're telling a story and it's all about the definition of their identity, it is boring. Now we'll see how our hot girl is. We'll see how the hot girl is. I can tell you, Isabel is a really good little actor. Zoe Saldana. Academy Award winning actress Zoe Saldana. She has had an illustrious career, I got to tell you, where she's played out of her ethnicity many times. And then she's played ethnicities many times. She won an Academy Award recently for playing a Dominican Mexican lawyer in the film Emilia Perez. I hated the film. I was not impressed with her performance. I'm impressed with other performances she's done in other films, but she won. She's going to be in Avatar, Ash and Fire. She's been in all the Avatars. My point is, Star Trek, Uhura, she's played a variety of roles. And I think it's great. I think it's great. Some roles are good. See, and this goes back to failing. I thought Emilia Perez was a failure of a film. But Hollywood being Hollywood awarded, no matter what, it got its awards. I don't think Zoe Saldana is a failure. Absolutely not. I love some of her acting. I love some of her acting. 100%. I just did not like Emilia Perez. But you know what? That's all right. Because then we've burned through this talk of representation matters, and I'm going after story, character, dialogue. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, it's great. You set the story in Mexico and you got all these Latino actors and I don't know what, but man, this was terrible. This is a good example of not giving the barrio pass just because it's Latino, which a lot of people tell you it wasn't. So Latinas have taken the lead in major films, and I think it's wonderful. And this list is purely based off of major releases in 2025